Maria Teresa Turian Barallo doesn't yell. She doesn't beg. She doesn't bribe with screen time or candy. She's the nanny who's been caring for Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis since they were babies. And if you watch closely at any royal event, you'll see something remarkable. The children aren't perfect. They fidget. They get restless. But they never completely melt down. They never completely lose control. How does she do it? What does she know that most parents don't? Royal nannies train at Norland College, an elite institution that's been perfecting childcare techniques for over 130 years. And their methods are based on child psychology research that most parents have never heard of. Today, I'm revealing 7 techniques royal nannies use that you can start implementing immediately. Let's begin. When a royal toddler is upset, their nanny doesn't say, "Don't cry," or "You're okay." Instead, she uses something called the weather report. She simply describes what she observes, like a meteorologist reporting conditions. I can see you're feeling very frustrated right now. Your body is tense, your face is red, big feelings are happening. That's it. No fixing, no dismissing, just observing out loud. Here's why this works. When you label emotions for a toddler, you're helping their brain make sense of overwhelming internal experiences. You're teaching them emotional vocabulary. You're validating that what they feel is real. But more importantly, you're activating their prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain, which helps calm the emotional storm. When you say "don't cry," you're invalidating their experience and actually increasing their distress. But when you say "you're feeling sad," you're giving their brain something to hold on to, a word, a concept, a way to understand the chaos inside. What this looks like in practice: your toddler is crying because their cracker broke. Instead of "it's just a cracker, stop crying," you say, "Oh, I see. Your cracker broke and you wanted it whole. That's really disappointing. You're feeling upset." Watch what happens. Within moments, the intensity often drops, not because you fixed the problem, but because you witnessed the feeling. Royal nannies never give commands, they give choices. Not real choices, controlled choices that lead to the same outcome, but make the toddler feel autonomous. A typical parent says, "Put your shoes on, we're leaving." A Norland nanny says, "Would you like to put on your shoes yourself?" Or, "Would you like me to help you?" Same outcome, shoes go on. But one approach triggers resistance. The other invites cooperation. Here's the psychology. Toddlers are in the autonomy development stage. Their entire brain is wired to assert independence. When you give a direct command, you're triggering their oppositional reflex. But when you offer a choice, even a limited one, you're satisfying their need for control while still achieving your goal. Royal nannies use this constantly. "Would you like to hold my hand or hold on to my coat? Should we clean up the toys now or after we read one more book? Do you want to wear the red shirt or the blue shirt?" Notice, all choices lead to compliance, but the toddler feels like they're deciding. What this looks like in practice, it's bedtime. Your toddler resists. Instead of "go to bed now," you say, "Would you like to brush your teeth first or put on your pajamas first?" They choose. They feel in control. Resistance drops. Bedtime happens. The choice illusion is one of the most powerful tools in the Royal Nanny Playbook. Watch Maria Barallo in any photo with the royal children. She's never standing over them, talking down. She's always crouched, kneeling, or sitting at their eye level. This isn't just polite, it's strategic. When you tower over a toddler while giving instructions, their nervous system interprets it as threat. You're physically dominating. Their brain activates defense mechanisms, fight, flight, or freeze. But when you lower yourself to their level, everything changes. You're not a threat. You're a collaborator. Eye contact becomes possible. Connection becomes possible. And when connection exists, cooperation follows. Royal nannies also adjust their voice when they get down to eye level. They speak quietly, slowly, deliberately. This requires the child to regulate their own volume and attention to hear. What this looks like in practice, your toddler is about to touch something dangerous. Instead of shouting, "No, Don't touch that. From across the room, you quickly move close, crouch down, make eye contact, and quietly say, "That's hot. It can hurt you. Let's keep our hands safe." Calm, close, eye level. Your toddler's brain stays regulated because your body language isn't triggering their alarm system. This one change, physically lowering yourself before giving instructions, can transform your toddler's responsiveness. Royal nannies don't entertain toddlers, they involve them. When Maria needs to prepare the children for an event, she doesn't distract them with toys. She includes them in the preparation. Can you help me choose which shoes match this outfit? Let's count how many buttons are on your jacket together. Can you hold this while I get your coat? This does something brilliant. It transforms tedious tasks into collaborative experiences. The toddler isn't being managed, they're participating. Here's why this works. Toddlers have a deep need to contribute, to be useful, to matter. When you give them small jobs, you're satisfying that need while also building competence and self-esteem. Plus, involved toddlers don't have time to resist or misbehave. Their hands and minds are occupied with the task. What this looks like in practice, you need to clean up before dinner. Instead of, "Go clean up your toys," you say, "I need your help. Can you put all the red blocks in this basket while I get the blue ones?" Suddenly, cleanup is a game. It's a mission. The toddler is your helper, not your burden. Royal nannies use involvement constantly. Can you carry this napkin to the table? Help me count the stairs as we go up. Which book should we read? Can you choose? Small tasks, big impact. The toddler feels valued and capable. Here's one that surprises people. Royal nannies ignore certain behaviors completely. Not dangerous behaviors, not hurtful behaviors, but attention-seeking behaviors. Whining, dramatic sighs, tantrum warm-ups. They've learned something crucial. Attention reinforces behavior, even negative attention. When a toddler whines and you respond, even to say, "Stop whining," you've just taught them that whining works. It gets your attention. But when you strategically ignore the whining and only respond when they use a normal voice, you teach them which communication style works. Royal nannies combine this with positive reinforcement. The moment the toddler shifts to appropriate behavior, they immediately engage. This isn't cold or unresponsive. It's strategic. You're teaching through selective attention. What this looks like in practice, your toddler starts whining for a snack. Instead of engaging with the whining, you continue what you're doing, completely neutral. The moment they ask in a normal voice, even if it's not perfect, you immediately respond warmly. "Oh, you'd like a snack? Let's see what we have." You've just taught them. Normal voice gets results. Whining doesn't. Within days, the whining decreases dramatically because they've learned the more effective strategy. Royal children never walk into situations unprepared. Before any event, any change, any transition, their nanny walks them through exactly what will happen. First, we'll get in the car. Then we'll drive to Grandma's house. When we arrive, we'll ring the doorbell. Grandma will answer. We'll say hello and give her a hug. Then we'll go inside and play. This technique is called scripting the future, and it's incredibly powerful for toddler behavior management. Here's why. Toddlers have almost no concept of time or sequence. Their world is immediate and unpredictable. This creates anxiety, and anxiety creates behavior problems. But when you preview what's coming, you give their brain a framework. They know what to expect. The unknown becomes known. Anxiety decreases. Royal nannies also use visual schedules, pictures showing the sequence of activities. This helps toddlers understand transitions and reduces resistance. What this looks like in practice. Before leaving for preschool, you sit down with your toddler. "Okay, let's talk about this morning. First, we'll eat breakfast, then we'll brush teeth, then we'll put on shoes and coat, then we'll get in the car, then we'll arrive at school and say goodbye. Miss Sarah will be there. You'll play with your friends. Then after nap time, I'll come pick you up." You've just eliminated 90% of potential resistance because their brain knows what's coming. There are no surprises. Surprises are what trigger toddler meltdowns. Royal children follow strict routines. Same wake time, same meal times, same nap time, same bedtime, every single day. This isn't rigidity for rigidity's sake. It's neurological strategy. Toddler brains crave predictability. When life follows a consistent pattern, their nervous system relaxes. They know what comes next. The world feels safe. But when schedules are chaotic, eating at different times, napping irregularly, bedtime shifting constantly, their brain stays in low-level stress mode. And stressed toddlers are difficult toddlers. Royal nannies protect routines fiercely. Even during travel, even during holidays, the core structure remains. This creates what psychologists call secure base. The child knows that no matter what happens, certain things stay consistent. This security allows them to be flexible in other areas. What this looks like in practice, you establish non-negotiable anchor points in your day. Wake time, 7 a.m. breakfast, 7:30 a.m. nap, 1 p.m. dinner, 5:30 p.m. bedtime routine starts, 7 p.m. Everything else can flex slightly, but these anchors stay constant. Within 2 weeks, you'll notice your toddler's behavior stabilizes. They stop fighting transitions. They become more cooperative. Why? Because their brain has learned the pattern. Predictability equals safety equals calm. Let me show you what these 7 techniques look like in one situation. Your toddler is melting down at the grocery store. Weather report. You crouch down. I can see you're feeling really frustrated right now. You're crying and your body is tense. Speaking at their level. You're at eye level. Voice quiet and calm. Choice illusion. We need to finish shopping. Would you like to ride in the cart or walk next to me holding the cart? Involvement. Can you help me find the red apples? How many should we get? Strategic ignoring. If they continue whining, you continue shopping calmly. The moment they engage normally, you respond warmly. Within minutes, the meltdown passes, not because you punished or bribed, because you use strategic techniques that work with toddler brain development, not against it. Royal nannies aren't magical. They're just trained in techniques that align with how toddler brains actually work. You don't need a Norland College degree to use these methods. You just need to understand the principles and practice them consistently. Which technique will you try first? The weather report? The choice illusion? The involvement principle? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this video gave you even one useful strategy, please like and share it with another parent who's struggling with toddler behavior. Remember, this is educational content, not professional advice. Every child is different. Adapt these techniques to fit your family. Your toddler isn't giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. These techniques help both of you. See you in the next video.